Hi guys, welcome to the world is your bowl of noodles, slurp noodles, and chat. I am the host Jordan Ibukwe, and today we have a very special guest talking in Tennessee. Please give it up for Cash Daniels, who is the Slingshot Awardee of 2025 for Inside National Geographic, Youth Council member of Roots and Shoots, and the top 5-time kids of the 2022 year. Please give him a round of applause. He's absolutely incredible. Please go check him out on Instagram. I will link it below on the description for the video and as well as the World Bowl Noodles. Like I always say, go support our initiatives. We're trying to grow it so we can make a bigger impact for more people to see it. But thank you for being here, and let's get into the episode. All right, Cash, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. My name is Cash Daniels. I'm 16 years old from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I am a river conservationist. And I've been working along the river since I was 7 years old. And so far, doing river cleanups, I have removed 48,000 pounds of trash out of the river so far, and done several initiatives such as putting up monofilament recycling bins for fishing line. With that, I have removed 6,000 miles of fishing line, and I have also recycled 2 tons of aluminum cans.
Wow, that's insane. And I just, your commitment is just flawless. Like you just keep going and you never stop because you want to make the world a cleaner and better place. And I want to know, like, what really got you into just wanting to help make the environment much more cleaner?
Yeah, so as I said, I started this work when I was 7 years old. But before that, I'd always loved getting out on the river. I'd always loved getting out kayaking, just being out in nature. And then one day, me and my family were at the beach when I found a plastic straw. And once I found that, I knew there was going to be more trash. And this was in the following months, right after the viral video came out of um, the straw being stuck in the sea turtle's nose. So I knew I had to do something about that. So I went home and started doing river cleanups with my family. And now it has turned into what I do now. I do monthly river cleanups along the Tennessee River to help remove plastic.
Wow, that's amazing. And do you do this just by yourself or do you have volunteers and people to help you?
Yeah, most of my cleanups, we do have people come out. I get my trail life group to come out, my youth group to come out, just people from the community. I go on the news, go on newspapers, post on social media, just to try and get as many people as possible out on these cleanups.
That's incredible. And I also want to know if you would you mind telling our guests like how to like get in touch with your initiative and if they're in the local area, they can like go and help as well.
Yeah, if you want to be out on a cleanup, you can go to my Instagram, which is the Conservation Kid. Same for Facebook. You can just go there, and then I'll post about it when we do a cleanup.
That's amazing, guys, and go check him out. I will also link his Instagram below. And I do want to know more about just like changing the world. When you think about changing the world, what does that mean to you personally? And how does that definition evolve as you've grown as an activist?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think changing the world is something that we all do on a bigger level, like I try and do, and on a personal level in our own worlds. It's just, I think, just getting out there and doing what you think needs to change about the world. It doesn't have to be conservation. It can be anything that you're passionate about. You can get out there and change in the world.
Right. That's exactly just like going out there and go changing the world. I feel like really just understanding that your impact, no matter how big or small, can really make bigger initiative or do something really. So basically, like it's more just beyond just what you're doing, is how you're affecting other people's lives and how they kind of view your change as well. And so that's kind of the beauty of just changing the world. And do you have anything else to say? I didn't want to cut in.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I try and talk to people about is like just pick up trash wherever you are. If you're at the river or doing anything, just pick up that plastic bottle in the on the bank. If you're walking on the sidewalk, pick up the plastic bag. If you're in the Walmart parking lot, pick up that crushed piece of plastic. Whatever it is, wherever you are, just make sure you're being mindful of what difference you can make.
Exactly. And I also live right next to a river. I don't know, it's like a river walk by my area. So I always
Okay.
we love how it just cleaning up the trash around there as well. So it's just a great thing to just make the environment more cleaner. But
Yeah.
I want to know more, just like what moment like made you realize that one young person really can spark global change, and how did that shift your approach to advocacy?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think my view on youth change makers really started the first time I went to the capital of Tennessee. I'm good friends with Greg Vidal. He is a state representative for District 29 in Tennessee. And I knew him before he became a politician. I met him actually on a river cleanup. And then when he became a politician, he was really into conservation and like trying to advocate for the river and the waterways near us. So then I went to Nashville, which is the capital, with him, and all of the politicians were they were great. They were really open minded to conservation, and I feel that's a big thing that we have in Tennessee. We have a ton of state parks. We have a great um, eco minded government. I think out of some states, I think we do really good at that. Um, but yeah, and just the way that they listen to me as a kid and just the way that I can make a difference, that really shaped my view on how I can make change as a youth.
Exactly. And I like that they give you the space to just, express yourself because especially in areas where like you don't see much representation of our generation or just young people, it's nice that like we are giving that space and that just
Yeah.
moment they allow our voice to shine. So shout out to the politician and his friends who like allowed your voice to be heard and grew your initiative further. And in your experience, what is the most important first step for anyone who wants to make a meaningful impact in their community or the world?
Yeah, I think if you want to make a meaningful impact, you just gotta start small, like I did. Just get out there, and start. If you're just wanting to get involved in conservation, just get out there and pick up that one piece of trash. Just go talk to your friends about it. Try and get them involved. I think that's the best way to start. Don't try and start big by doing river cleanups right off the bat. You need to start small, like just picking up pieces of trash and getting used to the feel of trying to get out there and change the world.
Exactly. And that's just important. It really doesn't matter how you might think, oh, it's nothing serious, but really you picking up one piece of litter can actually save an animal. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's really just saving life and helping grow and further making our earth beautiful. But I do want to get into that area of recycling because I know a lot of people, there's a lot of misconceptions about it. And can you just explain why recycling is important, especially when it comes to our communities?
Yeah, recycling is important just because it keeps plastic out of the waterways. But I think a lot of people don't realize about recycling is that plastic is not infinitely recyclable. It can only be recycled once or twice before its chemical makeup um, breaks down. And it's actually downcycling and not recycling. Recycling is where you can infinitely do it, like aluminum. And that's why I'm a big advocate for usage of aluminum because it can be infinitely recyclable and we've already have so much in circulation. And a friend of mine, I met him way back when I was on the Kelly Clarkson show, Jason Momoa. He started his own company to make bottled water out of aluminum called Mononalu water, and I drink it a lot. And it's just awesome to see people getting out there and trying to make alternatives to plastic. And I actually do a aluminum recycling company myself. I work with a nursing home and a dog park to take all of their aluminum cans and recycle them.
That's amazing. And I just like how you really, like, your just impact is honestly incredible. And I just really appreciate that you really are taking this by your own self and saying, well, I want to do the change. And it's just like, it's incredible that you're even on the Kelly Clarkson show. I love Kelly Clarkson. So just, it's honestly amazing that you got a chance to just be on that platform and to advocate more for the youth and for our environment. And I know just a lot of what you do can feel a lot of just stressful and just can be mentally like draining, especially. So, can you just, how do you break down huge problems like pollution or climate change into actions that can actually create real results? And also, how do you balance your time as well with your advocacy and just life?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I try and just do what I'm good at, which is I'm good at public speaking, just getting people out on the river, and I'm more on the plastic pollution side of things, not really climate change, which is a problem, and I would like to address, but I'm more on the ground level of things. But yeah, it's just really being doing what you're good at. I'm good at manual labor and picking up trash and all that, and getting people involved. I think I'm a charismatic speaker most of the time, and it's just sound like a broken record, but do what you're good at. Um, and I balance my life. I think pretty well, but yeah, I just like to get out. Get on the river, go kayaking, hiking. I'm a certified scuba diver, so I get out and scuba dive sometimes. And it all circles back to the water in my personal life and in my professional, I would say, life.
Oh my gosh, okay, I wouldn't say I love hiking. I'm not that kind of an outdoors person, so but I do appreciate nature and I would go and my backyard and just go appreciate because I do see some deers though. Even though I don't live deep in the country, I live in a city, but I do see some pesky deers walking around my yard. That's why we can't even grow any gardens or anything because they're
Mm,
always eating it. But I do appreciate nature and and like you said, balancing, just doing what you're good at because even though like some problems seem really big, just breaking them down and seeing, okay, what am I good at that I can help fix it? And so like just taking it day by day and step by step, it's all important. It's just the small steps like you said. But I
mm.
do want to know what strategies have helped you turn passion into like measurable impacts, and how can other young change makers use those same strategies as well?
That's a really good question. I think it's turning passion into what you're doing is your passion from a young age matters because again, I've always been out on the river and it's just using that passion because you can't protect what you don't love and getting out there and doing what you love and protecting what you're passionate about is what I think gets me going out into the conservation spectrum. And I think that's what everybody can um, do is find what you're passionate about and what you care about and get out there and try and protect and change the world.
Exactly. And just remembering your roots, foundations, like having a certain, like, I know that I didn't start this initiative just to get recognition, maybe so, but I really wanted it to spark something in people when they see it, they can actually do it at home. And so it's like beautiful that even though you want that measure, you want to see that impact, you always have to remember why you started it and what's the
Yeah.
purpose. And so that's the key of everything, every dream. But I do want a more understanding, like, because I know you did touch on this a little bit, but just to clarify more, what can we as a people do in our daily lives just to help make our environment much more cleaner or just to help reduce, like all the junk in our like communities?
Yeah. Yeah, I think what you can do on a day-to-day basis is just quit using plastic. Like I said earlier, you can use aluminum, you can use what we like to do for to-go boxes is bring our own to-go boxes and put our food in there, and it's just telling your friends and family about pollution and the ways that they can get involved. That's what I've done. Like my family didn't recycle or get out on a Saturday morning to get out and pick up trash, but I educated them about the ways that they can get involved. And I just think that's what we all need to do is just spread the message.
Exactly. And what do you say to the naysayers who say, well, recycling isn't a big deal? Because I know there are some people who think that way.
Hmm. Yeah, I would say to the doubters, because I personally have people who have said that I'm doing this for attention, I'm just doing it to reap the rewards and things like that. But it's all for passion, even if it's not a big impact. You're still getting out there and doing what you think is right, which a lot of people in the world will just sit and complain about what they want fixed. And that's what I thought when I first saw that plastic straw. Somebody's got to do something about this. like, oh wait, I am somebody. I can get out and make a difference.
Exactly. And just like you say, like it doesn't really matter what people say. It's just like you taking that initiative. Because yes, people will always say, "Oh, I wish the world was a better place," but are they really trying to make it a better place? Are they
Exactly.
exactly? Are they trying to do the thing that they need to do? So it's really just you taking that action and saying, "Okay, I'm gonna step up and do it." But I want to go more into just like age, I guess, but like I want to know, you've already made an impact at such a young age, but how do you inspire others to believe that their age doesn't limit their ability to change the world?
Yeah, what I say to like people my age and younger is that um it doesn't matter what people say, like you can get out and make a difference. And I am part of several great communities like the Roots and Shoots Youth Council that I know a lot of amazing people on the council that do amazing things all over the country and just all of Roots and Shoots all over the world, all full of kids making a difference. And I think I love going to talk to schools, try and get the next generation involved, pass the torch on to them. And I think it's important if people like me, like kids, are getting out and talking to these younger kids, middle school, elementary school kids about conservation, because like they're the ones who are going to inherit the planet. They're the ones who are going to um,
Hmm.
change the world after us. And it's just making sure that they know that they're not alone. If they care about something, making sure that they know there are people like me, like them, out there making a difference.
That's amazing. Just representation, like you said, people need to see an example. I guess sometimes we do need to see example of like change makers like you just doing the stuff that we wish to do. And it's just a great example. Like, hey, even though I'm only 16, 17, I'm doing what people should be doing in their 30s or their 40s. And
Yeah,
so
exactly.
exactly. So you just really have to say, okay, well, it's not about like how old I am. It's about like what I'm gonna do. Like you don't know. Like impact is going to take some time. Like you said, it's taking you maybe years and years to like understand recycling and also understand the environment. But you've learned and you've grown and look at your impact now. It's really as big, it's growing. And so it's just beautiful how we can actually set the example at such a young age. And I do want to go into our second to last question. And I do want to know, looking forward the future, towards the future. What kind of global change do you hope your generation or our generation will be remembered for? And what role do you hope to play in that transformation?
Yeah, I hope that our generation is remembered for one that started a movement of conservation and care for the planet, because I know a lot of people that are way older than me that care about the planet, but it wasn't really a problem of pollution and climate change like 50 years ago. Plastic is a new issue. It was only invented after World War II, so it hasn't been around long enough for older generations to have to worry about it. And I think when a lot of people point out about the older generation's mistakes and like the way that they messed up the planet, I like to point out to people that say that as they didn't know the issues. They didn't know what was going to happen. All these new inventions that are coming out now, they're going to have downsides and we're going to keep using them and we're going to be ignorant to the new stuff, just like they were. But I hope that our generation is remembered for educating people about trash and pollution, and just changing the world. Because in 20 years, when everybody my age is um, up in the world making decisions, like my age being politicians, like they're the ones who are going to make policy. That's why I like to go and talk to kids because, like, in another 30 or 40 years, they're going to be running for office and, like, they're going to carry this message with them while they're running. And I think I want to be remembered as just somebody who got out there and tried to change the world, just and started a movement.
That's amazing. And just like you said, like our generation, of course, we're gonna be ignorant. AI, people are doubting it always, but we always had to remember, like, we're not always going to be perfect. And, one thing that the older generation did not do well was actually trying to take up more of trying to actually help reduce a lot of the stuff that we have because we have
Yeah.
to take up so much now. But, like, is that's the beauty of Gen Z. I feel like we're just so innovative and so creative that we can do anything. And if we just do it. And so that's amazing. But I do want to go into the last question. It's a very funny question, even though it's a little out of the theme, but I do want to know what is your favorite bowl of noodles?
Bowl of noodles. I gotta say spaghetti. There's a place in no, Knoxville, Tennessee. It's called Louis. It's the greatest spaghetti. It's a little hole in the wall. It's the greatest spaghetti on the planet. Like, of course, I think I love to travel. I want to go to Italy one day, but I don't know if true Italian pasta is gonna compare to this. But yeah, I'd say spaghetti.
What makes it so just magical, basically?
It's just that I don't know what they put in that sauce, but it's amazing. Like my family goes, it's Pigeon Forge. It's close to Knoxville, and like go spend the day there. And like on the way back, we always go there. And I've just had it at a young age. It just gives every time you take a bite, like all the memories come flooding back, and it's just I there aren't words to describe it. It's just amazing.
Hey, y'all heard him. Go check it out. I mean, I don't know about I feel like I know one just right by my house. They have good spaghetti, but just my favorite one is mac and cheese. I was always a crafts kid, and then I moved forward to baked mac and cheese. So I'm a little bit Southern, even though I got a little bit of just, even though I'm full African, I've adapted to it. Like bolognese, I love myself some good Alfredo. So it's just a little mix of everything, but I love spaghetti. Dead serious. I love it. So I just love noodles, and I can't really pick which one I love. But thank you so much, Cash Daniels. You are absolutely phenomenal. Please keep making a mumble. Please keep making an impact and continue to just change the world. And just thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome.
Thank you.